Hey guys, Valleygirl15 here. So this is the last time I'm going to talk about Outbreak because it's over. Yay! To recap LG15 Outbreak as a whole, here's another awesome picture of Will. What are you doing? Let's recap the 12 and 12 and then I'll tell you my thoughts on the entire series. So the first video is Will wasting 1 minute and 8 seconds showing us scenery of an airport. Yawn, Will, get to the point. You only have 12 videos to end this thing up. Suddenly he's on an airplane and he's like, let me recap everything that's happened. That's my job, Will. Back off. It says Gregson gave him 2 separate hard drive disks. Each hard drive had half of the data that they needed to give the FBI. So it made total sense to split them into 2 hard drives. Why not just put them on one? When Will thought everyone was dead, he totally smashed the hard drive out of anger or something, which makes absolutely no sense. Now they only have 1/2 of the information they need to give the FBI, and now they have to fly halfway across the world to go get the other half of the data and break into Shentech's headquarters. Will and Crystal are on a plane, and that is where they're headed. And oh my god, it's Spencer. Didn't you guys just love Spencer and his total geekiness? His job is going to be to get them to Shentech alive, in and out. Some super geeky things about like cameras and like turning things off and unlocking doors and stuff, and I don't know what's going on. Just too mesmerized by the fact that Spencer's back. And Jessica and Jordan, yay for the community. Really hard to get into Shentech, and there's some doors and they're all locked, but we found Mason in one of these doors and oh my god, he might be still alive, so make sure to look for him when you go. Pretty much say that Gregson is locked in the Cavion room at Shentech, so they have him hooked up to the blood machine, which is like underworld with vampires that keeps you alive and stuff. So Gregson's alive and he has some blood in him that's probably trait positive. Mitch shows up, yay community again. He's like, I'm gonna help you kill the power and you guys will have time to get in and out. He's basically gonna save your life. Aren't you stupid, Crystal, for saying that Mitch was creepy when he's trying to like, I don't know, save you? Then Will wastes another minute showing the airport landscape and them landing on a plane. We've all flown on a plane before, Will. We don't need to see the scenery of what it looks like. Crystal says, oh, I got a text, so she like walks up and leaves. And then she comes back and she has Pea Monkey in her hands. Little Pea Monkey. I love Pea Monkey, oh my god. Inside of Pea Monkey's little puppet hand is a note, and it's from Emma, Jonas's sister. I should be excited, but I didn't really like Emma that much, so whatever. She basically says, keep checking your email, I'm going to tell you how to get in and out of Shentech. Good luck. And then they all go bowling in Mason's crazy ass hallucination memory while he's hooked up to Cavion. So that looked like fun to film for whatever reason. Will is at Shentech headquarters. If Emma times it right, the power should go off, and then the power goes off, and then him and Crystal are running into the Shentech building, and then they get separated. And Emma makes a blog and she's like, hey, I saw you got separated from Will. This is how you get out of the building, Crystal. I have a van that's parked and ready for you. Where is Emma? How is she doing all this? Like, she's like, oh, I made a van for you and you can just use it wherever you want. And you can pretty much just like hang out in it and there's fuel, so go to the van and then I'll figure out how to get Will out and then you pick them up in the front of the building. And then Emma says some really weird stuff about how like she's totally in love with Mason and they tried dating and it didn't work. Of course it didn't work. Gregson does this thing, Emma, let me fill you in, where he pretends to die all the time so that he doesn't have to take girls out on dates. Okay? I'm still waiting for my lobster dinner. Gregson shows up while Will's in the building alone and he's like, oh my god, Gregson, you're alive. And Gregson's like, Will, what are you doing here? Will goes, where did you get a shotgun? And Mason goes, oh, I killed a guy. Duh, stop asking stupid questions. Then Emma makes another blog post saying Crystal's safe and she's waiting for you guys outside the building and this is how you get out of the room that you're locked in. She needs Gregson to make it out of the room alive so they can like do it again because she like misses him a lot and she needs to like apologize for being a total bee or something like that. Will and Gregson pick the lock that Emma told them to pick or whatever, and Gregson's like, oh, it's really small, only one of us can get through. You stay here in this room and then when Emma unlocks the room you can get out of the room and then meet up with Crystal and me. So Gregson takes the camera and he's in this little tunnel and he's like trying to get out, and then he gets in the van with Crystal and then Crystal gets in the driver's seat and she's like, oh, I just had to take care of something, and then she stabs Gregson. Crystal is totally evil. Okay, she's not really. She's just really super damaged from her crazy ass family and the fact that Gregson like abandoned her for so long. So she's like, abandon, you abandoned me, stab, stab, stab. I don't know what she's stabbing him with. Some people think it's keys, some people think it's a knife, some people think she's just poking his gunshot wounds. Either way, what a bitch. Leaves him on the side of the road and then drives away. Good for you, Crystal. Way to be a psycho. Gregson's like, haha, I'm still alive because I was hooked up to Cavion and I had this girlfriend and she was trait positive and I was supposed to protect her while I was in the resistance, but then she died and the Eiffel Tower blew up and that wasn't my fault. I am so confused where all these random girlfriends that Gregson's had keep coming up and popping up. Basically, his ex-girlfriend or whatever that like died from Cavion, it had the reverse effect on Mason, so now he has like blood that's like trait positive or like everlasting blood flowing into him or something like that, so he can't die. So Crystal's efforts to kill him are futile. It's kind of sad because Gregson's like, I can't believe I messed Crystal up that bad that she would totally stab her own brother. Oops. Snap. So then Will is in the car with Crystal and he is on his phone and he's like listening to all his voicemails and he's like, and all the voicemails are saying like, get out of the car with Crystal, Crystal's crazy, she's gonna shoot you, blah blah blah. And then Will like slowly gets out of the car and then Crystal follows him out and she's like, I'm sorry Will, I have to do this. And it makes no sense. Why does she have to kill Will? So Crystal's about to shoot Will and then Gregson comes up behind Crystal and shoots her. And Will's like, what the hell was that about? Crystal and I were totally dating and now I don't have a girlfriend anymore. Thanks, Gregson. And Gregson's like, Crystal's insane, you need to go, take all the hard drives to Spencer, get on a flight, leave. And Will is in the car and he's like, I really need to finish this. And so he tells Spencer that he sent all the hard drives to Spencer and he should go to the FBI and he has 3 hard copies with him, so all this information should get sent to the FBI and the order should be stopped once again. And Will is like, Gregson, don't contact me again, okay? You are complicated. Stay out of my life. And then, oh wait, that was it. That was the end of an 8-week stint of me watching crappy 3-minute videos every single freaking day and not getting anywhere plot-wise. Basically, we met a girl named Crystal, and she was like, I like art, and my family's horrible. And then she's like, oh, this is my creepy neighbor Will, who works for Shintex and works for the Order, and I just happen to live next to him. And then Mason shows up, and she's like, hey, I'm your brother, sorry I abandoned you. And then Crystal's like, oh, it's okay, we can still hang out. She gets kidnapped or whatever, and then they have to go save her, and then they save her. Why did Crystal even get kidnapped in the first place? Was she even trait positive? I mean, Joe totally says that it's obvious that she's a trait positive girl if a geeky guy is in love with her and she's totally lonely. True, but we never got confirmation of this, okay? So why would Shintek want to kidnap her unless it was to get to Mason or something? But it's still really, really weird. This is a hole. And when you place this hole into the middle of a plot, it's called a plot hole. You place lots of these inside of a plot, then the plot doesn't make sense because you can't find the beginning, the middle, the climax, the end. That is how I feel about Outbreak. Valleygirl15 is out. Ugh. Or it's not over. God. So then another video is posted. And Gregson is like, hey, Tachyon, I did my job. Now hand over Jonas. What does it all mean? Does this mean we're gonna have a new season and Jonas is gonna be there and we can drool over his sickly sweet abs? I hope so. Valleygirl15 really out this time.